Hello everybody, you can call me Hunch, and today I'm going to be talking about the Stacks ecosystem, not necessarily a Stacks price chart, but I will be talking about some of the prices of the coins in the ecosystem. Now, I just want to say it's vitally important that you pay attention to this because I think crypto will end up kind of like physics, right? Gravity. These things are constants. They can't change. Yeah, you have these crazy bubbles with some of these other coins, but what do we know about Bitcoin? We need to ask ourselves that. We know that it is one of the greatest innovations of our time, and it's taken into account that trilemma of decentralization, security, and transactions per second, and it has the best trade-offs you can possibly get, and is layering better than any other network. For example, Ethereum gives up a lot of security to have smart contracts. It gives up decentralization. Bitcoin doesn't do that. And so Stacks is vitally important to maintaining decentralization. And the world, I believe, and it's important enough to believe, that the world should be built on maximum decentralization, not centralization. That's how you end up with all these things, problems that we're seeing today, right? The centralization of organizations and things which lead to bias and problems. So let's dive on in. So before we dive on in, this is just reiterating that. This is from ALEX. It's a DeFi protocol on top of Stacks. It says Bitcoin block space will become the gold standard. What I want you to take from that is just because Bitcoin isn't being used doesn't mean the block space can't be utilized to portray truth in a market, right? If Bitcoin is used as a finality layer on Stacks, that means there is truth and consistency, right? Because we know that every block, every 10 minutes on the Bitcoin blockchain is running smoothly, no matter what's happening in financial markets or wars or whatever, it is just running. And if you can verify that something took place on the Bitcoin blockchain, you know that it took place. And that's vitally important to building a structured financial system. Okay, so I made this video about a day ago before everything started going bananas. So I just want you to watch this real quick while I fix my camera, because I know you all want to see me. I'm so good looking, it's unbelievable. Okay, here we go. Now, financial advice. You have to look at these things as a risk reward. The Ethereum ecosystem, some of those other DeFi protocols, those governance tokens went absolutely bananas. So I'm not saying put a lot of money in here, right? I'm not saying put any money in here. That was my best wink. Okay, so what I want you to see on the screen here is I have Miami and New York City. You can go watch the whole video. I posted about a day ago, but I said, you know, those things may be able to build a bond network on top of them, right? Municipality bonds. Remember, the biggest markets in the world are bonds, right? Those market caps are so low, and I'm not saying they have good tokenomics. I'm not saying they have good anything, but you need to go research them because the risk reward is absolutely bananas. Now, not financial advice. Go talk to some old guy who's trying to get you to buy gold. I don't care what you do. This is not a place if you're really super old, okay? Here we go. This Stacks is starting to get talked about on Twitter, right? And this is something that like I felt would eventually happen, but I always thought, oh, well, maybe it won't. You know, maybe Ethereum does win. You know, bad systems can't succeed in certain times, certain places. I mean, when there's no other alternatives, right? So I knew the Stacks was a little riskier, but I do think financial system is like that physics problem, right? Gravity is a constant, right? We know that. And this computer problem that Bitcoin solves, right, with maximum decentralization is sort of like that. So Stacks is an important layer, right? So read this. Stacks is $1.3 billion market cap. ALEX is 6 million. DIKO is 2 million. This guy thinks it can 10x. I don't necessarily know if that's true, but they have done like 5x's since the bottom. Okay, and then he says 2 billion market cap, stablecoin on Stacks, DIKO. So DIKO, that's super, super important. DIKO does have a stablecoin, okay? Go to the website, check it out. USDA, I'm sure it works. I don't know if it's algorithmic, okay? But if you could see the DIKO down here that says 0.0975, that was at like 2 cents a day ago when I made this video, okay? 2 cents, okay? Now, that doesn't mean I didn't live through some pain to get there, but I never stopped believing in the projects on Stacks, right? I understood that mathematical problem that Bitcoin solves better than the other chains, okay? Now, there may be a pullback. I'm not saying dump everything you have on this. I'm not even saying that it's going to succeed, but you have to look at financial markets from a risk-reward situation, okay? Now, here's the chart for ALEX Lab. That is another protocol on Stacks, okay? And this and ALEX Diko are kind of like the Uniswap or the pancake swaps of the other chains, okay? except they have Bitcoin finality, so it's basically incorruptible, right? You know what actually happened, and it's just so important, right? I can't emphasize that enough, that the risk reward for these has got to be astronomical. Remember what this guy said, bro. 6 million, 2 million. If you want to go back and look at AV before the bull market, dude, it did insane numbers on the governance side. Okay. The other thing I just really think you need to pay attention to, okay, including state and local registered bonds, municipality bonds in New York City. Now, don't quote me. Go verify this. Many other sources, right? Is 48 billion. Now, I think this is underappreciated. Okay, here's the chart for New York City coin. Remember, these have smart contracts too. If you can build a municipality, I can't even say that. Municipality, whatever. Say it however you want. I don't care. If you could build a system on that, on top of these smart contract city coins, right, that incentivize the city to do well and increase competition and bring talent to the city, right, and then build a bond network so you can invest on top of that, that is going to skyrocket these coins. Now, they may fail. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm not trying to be like every other YouTuber who's like, bro, I'm getting paid for this, dog. No, I ain't like that. I'm just pointing out the risk reward. Pay attention, class. Do you not understand what I'm trying to tell you? Go back to this video. I said there's only like 6 coins on Stacks right now. Okay. It would be, I don't want to say it loud. It would be so ill-advised not to at least download an Xverse app, download a Hero wallet, right? And if it just so happens that Bitcoin stays on top over the Ethereum maxis, there's no way that nothing in this ecosystem is going to go nowhere. You have got to take a chance here. So I just want to reiterate, don't look at the charts. Wait for the pullback if you're a trader. But these market caps are so low, I wouldn't even recommend that. I would recommend just diversifying amongst them and praying that something good happens. Okay, not financial advice. Please don't come and find me if you don't do well. You have to make your own sound judgments. I'm just trying to point you in some type of direction that isn't illogical like every other YouTuber on the face of the planet. You could call me Hunch.